Yo, what's going on, everyone? Brian and Jim here with Drink a Beer and Play a Game. And today, we're actually checking out the death and return of Superman for the Super NES and Sega Genesis.
This game was developed by Blizzard, and it was also partially developed and published by Sunsoft. On the Super NES, it was released in 1994, and it was in 95 on the Genesis. These games are basically the same, so the scores we give go for both systems. Here we go.
Oh dear God, Jim just mentioned Blizzard. Does that mean this could actually be a good game?
Most likely because Blizzard is perfect.
I
love StarCraft. Ow!
Nerd. Anyway, these graphics are such a fucking step up for the Superman series. It's what you would expect from a Super NES or Sega Genesis game. You got parallax scrolling, you got a whole bunch of things going on in the background. Like, check out this background. Metropolis is in flames, and you get to see it beautifully rendered. I know I'm just being a little too excited because I have a finally good-looking Superman game, but even each version of Superman looks great. They all have different animations, and they have this awesome superpower that, fucking love it. The two complaints I will have, and it's what you hear me say in most of these games, the enemies fucking repeat over and over. And I'm sorry, they couldn't come up with a fucking better name than Chainsaw and Molotov. That's just some lazy shit right there.
That has nothing to do with graphics.
But it's a complaint!
Alright.
And then the last thing I have an issue with is, look at Superboy's walk here. The hell is that?
He walks like a sissy.
No, what he walks like is a...
Whoa. Dude. We're on the internet.
What?
Careful. Careful.
Just gonna say girl.
Careful.
Anyway, so as you see, we gave this 8s. We have not much to complain about except for our few minor gripes. And as far as beers, I'm going to add 2 for exactly what I just pointed out. Superboy's walk and the goddamn repeating enemies.
So for as good as the graphics are, the sound is kind of disappointing. I'm not going to say it's outright bad or anything, it's just really generic. The music tracks are, I'll say, not memorable for one. They're not bad, but come on, both of these consoles can do so much better.
Especially Super NES.
Yeah, if you like reverb.
Orchestral.
Shut up. Anyway, so he does have a point. Both of them can do so much better. And the sound effects are very minimal. They just didn't put that much effort. I don't know if there was the one part that got neglected. I don't know if they were trying too hard to appease both consoles so they didn't go as crazy as they could. It's not bad, it's just not great, but it's still below average for the years it came out in. So we both gave it 4s. I'm gonna add a beer for that terrible chainsaw sound from Chainsaw. I mean, you think a guy's name's Chainsaw, he'd sound like a chainsaw with a chainsaw.
When we were trying to decide how we're gonna score this control, we were trying to find the flaws with this game. And like any beat 'em up from the early 90s, it's really tough to find. I mean, let me lay out the buttons for you. You have one button for attack, one button to charge up this laser that does dick, a jump button, and a button for your mega power that clears the entire screen. Other than that, you're just walking side to side. You can double press the jump button and now you're flying. So there really wasn't anything wrong with it. Except for the one very minor gripe, when you would go to grab someone, the hitbox, the detection box, whatever you want to call it, it kind of felt like a coin toss. In some of these scenarios, as you'll see, I'm standing right next to a guy and for whatever fucking reason, it won't grab him. This would have been a good use of another button, or kind of just take the idea from Streets of Rage, and the second you're even near him, you just grab onto that motherfucker. So other than that, it's as basic of a beat 'em up as you can go. We both gave it 9s. We just had to knock it for that one minor fault. And as far as beer is concerned, I'm not even going to add one. We're just being real nitpicky with a control scheme that's really fine.
The gameplay. I mean, I guess we're sounding like a broken record at this point, but it's fine, if not revolutionary in any way. It's basically as standard a beat 'em up as you can get. So we will give points because, like most beat 'em ups, you have different characters with different powers. That's always good, it changes it up a little bit. Also, you have the flying sections, which are fun, and they also breathe a little bit of freshness into the game. But the reason we didn't give it any higher is because why the hell does the Super NES hate doing 2-player co-op in beat 'em ups? They didn't do it with Final Fight, and they didn't do it with this. Why? I don't know. Now, yes, I'm very aware that it's following pretty close, almost exactly to the comic books. That's fine. but maybe you could have had a separate little storyline for the early part with the Justice League International when they were trying to fight Doomsday and got their ass kicked. Something for two-player gaming. Even a versus mode. Something. The core gameplay is fine. We both gave it 6s. And as far as beer goes, I'm going to give it 2 beers for not having a two-player mode.
Alright, similar to the Control, we were trying to find things that made this game original. And we were surprised to find it offered a fair amount compared to the other Superman games. Now, right off the bat, let me just say, it offers absolutely nothing new to the beat-em-up genre. But, as far as Superman games are concerned, you have this, as I mentioned, screen-clearing mega power. You have actual other Supermen. Yeah, I know they're not really Superman, but you get my drift. You have Cyborg Superman, you have Steel, Superboy, Eradicator. And you know why you have all that? This is the first Superman game to stay true to the goddamn source material. Any comic book geek or a kid that grew up in the 90s knows the comic book arc of the death of Superman. And guess what? This does a great job of replaying those events. They even have these nice little stills taken directly from the comic. They look awesome, and you're following along a story, as opposed to fucking games like the NES where you have to go find out about stocks. I can't even stress that we were just happy to have a cohesive story for something we could actually pull from the Superman universe. So with that being said, we both gave it 5s. That's where we had to stop it because it's average as far as an original idea is concerned. And as far as beer is concerned, I'm gonna add 1 beer, and this might not be the right place to complain about it, but once again, why the hell can't you give Superman multiple powers? Fuck.
Replayability I can keep quick, because this game is a tough sumbitch, but besides that, there's no replayability here. It's the same game no matter how much you play it, you just need to play it a lot to beat it.
Jim, you know when it's not hard? When you use a cheat code and just keep reusing your superpower over and over.
Bride, that's cheap.
You mean just like Superman?
I'm still glad I won that drinking game. I don't care. I need my pride. So either way, we both gave it 3s. It's tough, and that's about it. But luckily, there's no key finding. As far as beer goes, oh god. I'll add 1 beer just because it's very repetitive.
So overall, this is the first console-based Superman game that is above average in our eyes. It's not perfect, and it certainly isn't going to blow your mind if you're a big beat-em-up fan, but if you're a true fan of Superman and you love that story arc from the 90s, as I mentioned, then you're gonna love this game.
Bri, is that why it cost $100?
For me, it was free.
But did you, like, steal it or something?
Aren't we in a Bernie Sanders America?
Alright, you're not gonna hear that from by the time this hits video, but we were probably laughing for 3 minutes. I've gotten over to it.
So anyway, yeah, it is a good game, and it looks great, but like Jim said, we planned on playing this for a drunken long play. It would have been nice had they had a 2-player mode. It would have made this game so much better. With that being said, I did enjoy it slightly more than Jim. I gave it a 6, he gave it a 5, and when we round up all of our scores together, it comes out to a 5.8. Might not sound like much, but it's the highest rated Superman game we've done thus far. It's definitely an improvement, just not the greatest. As far as beer pairing for this game, we're actually going to go away from ales and go with an amber lager. Because once again, it has the same characteristic of being easy to drink, and it still offers you just enough flavor where it's not going to distract you from playing. So, specifically, I'm going to choose the Stagmeyer Amber Lager. Anyone who's from the PA area knows about Stagmeyer, and it's very affordable, and they're pretty goddamn good beers, I'm not gonna lie. This beer may not revolutionize your thinking about lagers, but for such an average game, you need a fairly average beer, and this is a good one. So remember to drink your beers and play your games responsibly. As always, guys, thanks for checking out this video, and if you enjoyed it, make sure you give us a thumbs up, leave some comments, or better yet, why not subscribe? Till next time, guys, cheers.